My name is Brittany. Welcome to my final project for ILT 5003. Let me tell you a little about myself. I received my bachelor's degree at the University of Texas, San Antonio in Interdisciplinary Studies of December 2018. With my degree, I attained a teacher certificate in early education through 6th grade. Right after I student taught in 1st grade, I was blessed with a 7-week-long position in a kindergarten classroom at the same school. This is where I experienced my first field trip, how to introduce children to guided reading for the first time, and also felt the amazing love of 22 kindergarten children. After my long-term sub-position ended in kindergarten, I went to San Antonio ISD for 2 weeks to do an internship and follow their reading specialist. I had the opportunity to work in small groups with kindergarten, 1st grade, and 5th grade. Working in multiple reading groups with each grade gave me the opportunity to experience working with multiple grades and aged children at the same time. After my internship, I went back to Northside ISD and worked as a long-term instructional aide for the Behavior Mastery Center, or BMC. While in BMC, I got to work closely with students with diverse behavior needs. I also spent time in the preschool program for children with disabilities, or PPCD, classroom as well. During this time, I got to work with children of diverse needs. Currently, I am awaiting my first year as a teacher in Northside ISD teaching 3rd grade. Some people ask why I decided to go back to school right away. Even before my graduation in December, I knew that I'd be right back at UTSA to get my master's degree in reading and literacy with the reading specialist certification. Right after I walked the stage, I have a passion for reading, and I always have. When I was younger, I would beg for books and read for hours. Reading came easy to me, and I'm very thankful for that. As an educator, I have noticed that reading is not enjoyable or easy for everyone. Other than my passion for reading, I wanted to pursue a master's degree in reading and literacy to learn more about what I can do for those that reading does not come as easy. I also wanted to become a literacy leader to help other teachers expand their literacy knowledge. Although I want to wait to act upon my reading specialist certificate after some years in the classroom, I wanted to prepare for it right away. Through my classes, I have realized that this was the best decision for me. I strive to always gain new knowledge, learn from my peers, and work in cooperating learning environments. While taking this course, I realized that most of the theories that we have learned and the research that we have discussed, I have been a part of. Understanding socio-political nature is an important aspect of education. Knowing where the education world started and what it has evolved to can help educators best teach the children of today. Through looking through educational history, educators can notice the possible faults in our education system's past and find out how to create resources and opportunities for people that have been disadvantaged by history throughout the past and in the present. Claudia Golden presents educational history information in her historical paper, A Brief History of Education in the United States. In this paper, she wrote about certain historical moments that have shaped the way the United States education system runs today. In Jean Annion's Social Class and the Hidden Curriculum of Work, Annion discusses the educational experiences and curriculum that are presented to students in different social classes, and how that there is a hidden curriculum in the American education system. This hidden curriculum is in place, can potentially keep those students in the same place of class for the rest of their lives. In Paulo Freire, Pedagogy of the Oppressed, Freire discusses concerns for people that have been oppressed. He also feels that people who are oppressed must stand up for themselves and make their voices heard. Freire also notes that to break away from oppression, one must recognize what the oppression is and where it comes from, then be willing to act upon it and make choices that stand against it. Each of these articles help me reflect on the part I play in the educational world. I must take the historical information from Golden, the hidden curriculum awareness from Annion, and the knowledge of oppression from Freire, and stand up against each injustice. As an educator, I must use this historical context of the American education and change it for what better fits the students of today. Also, no matter what social class students come from, I will help prepare them to become whatever they want to be in the world and go against the hidden curriculum that is set up. It is also my job to make sure that my students are aware of oppression, the oppressions they're facing, and aware of the voice that they can use. I will now discuss key aspects of foundational theories that have shaped the education world today. It is important to study and research different theories because they can help you choose a teaching practice that best fits you and your students. As an educator, you must be able to combine multiple theories to create the best learning environment for your students. Some of the research based on theories that we discuss over this course come from the researchers that follow. Nisani's article, 10 Cheers for Interdisciplinary Learning, the case for interdisciplinary knowledge and research, defended interdisciplinary knowledge and explains why it is important. Nisani states that interdisciplinary learning is important because it is a unity of knowledge and defines it as bringing together distinctive components of two or more disciplines. In Joe Moran's Interdisciplinary, Moran explains how interdisciplinary learning provides a cooperative way to combine disciplines that a lot of times people want to keep separate. Interdisciplinary learning is very important in the education world because it is important for our students to know learning can be a combination of multiple disciplines. Rarely in our world does something we learn only stick to one discipline category. It is important for students to learn how to combine different ideas and knowledge that they already have to gain new knowledge from other disciplines. Theorists and theories. These theories, or a combination of them, can be seen throughout classrooms around the world and have helped shape the practices of educators today. B.F. Skinner is the theorist behind behaviorist theory. This theory states that learning is defined through positive or negative reinforcement. Behaviorism includes a stimulus response where learners are motivated through rewards. According to behaviorism, through positive or negative reinforcement, students can learn and behave in a certain way. Jean Piaget is the theorist behind cognitive development. In the cognitive theory, knowing is a spontaneous process that is obtained through the development and over a period of time. Development must be appropriate for the stage in life that the child is in. Lev Vygotsky is the theorist behind social constructionism. Vygotsky believed that learning is a collaborative process and that children need to not just learn from their teachers, but from knowledgeable others, such as classmates or social peers. This collaborative learning process is through the zone of proximal development. Lev and Wagner discuss the importance of learning through a social community and situated learning. They also note that situated learning is viewed as an activity or process in which learners work together. Lev and Wagner also feel that as a part of situated learning, students become a part of a community and that learning takes place as one participates in the social world. When students learn, their understandings and experiences are mixed together at a constant interaction. Peppard and Harrell dive deep into constructionism and state that constructionism is a deeper look into learning by making. Students must not just be told to construct what they are learning, but be a part of the process of knowing why these hands-on experiences are important to the real world and also finding out the best way for them to construct versus just being told how to construct. Constructionism happens in contexts where learners are engaged through this construction. In my classroom, a mixture of these theories can be seen. Although I'm a strong believer that students should learn and do good out of the goodness of their hearts, I still feel that sometimes positive reinforcement that Skinner suggests are necessary. I personally use a classroom economy and a whole group rewards system to help teach responsibility as well as teamwork while giving them positive reinforcement. I also like to push my students to new levels, but still feel that they should be taught mostly in a stage that they are developmentally ready for, as Piaget suggests. In my classroom, I also like to make sure my students are social learners that can use their experiences to teach others. Through peer learning, they can learn so much while being able to talk through problems that they might have or discuss different things they were learning. Through activities such as literature circles and table talks, I like my students to get a chance to be the knowledgeable other for their classmates, such as Vygotsky mentions. In my classroom, I also see a little of Peppard and Harrell, Lev, and Wagner. I feel it is important for students to have hands-on, real-world experiences and to be able to create and make. The skills children can gain from being able to create, build, and find ways to problem solve that best fit them, they will be able to gain so much more knowledge than just being told by the teacher. The theories that address diverse learners the most are cognitive development and situated learning. Through cognitive development, students need to learn based on what they are developmentally ready for. This is based off of each individual student. Situated learning fits the need of diverse learners as well because it joins learners together into a learning community, and they use each other's social and academic knowledge to build upon new knowledge they are learning. These students' social and academic knowledge are individual for each student because everybody has different experiences. Malcolm Knowles discusses adult learners and talks about how they are different than children learners. He explains the theory of andragogy and discusses how adults have different motivations to learn. Knowles states that adults learn at a more problem-based orientation and are motivated to develop tasks that help them in their social roles of society. This is important as future literacy leaders because we must adjust ourselves from being used to teaching children to best finding how to teach adults. The key foundational theories we have discussed through this course address diverse learners. There are a diverse group of children that make up every school. Although there are many different types of diversity, each individual deserves respect and an equitable education. Ladson Billings shows us how an educational depth affects our minority students. This gap is due to a lack of resources and a lack of opportunity. In my classroom, I do everything I can to make sure all students have an equitable education regardless of where they come from or who they are. Lee discusses the importance of bringing our students' cultures into the classroom. By valuing our students' lives and where they come from, they will feel included in their learning and be able to share who they are with their peers. Lee notes that linking these community-based concepts and practices can be bridges that teachers use to guide student instruction. Meyer discusses sexual diversity and the importance of acknowledging and teaching awareness in school. Sexual diversity is an initiative that addresses issues that are related to identity and orientation, and not spreading this knowledge through our school can leave young people without guidance and without accurate information. Hauer discusses inclusion of children with severe disabilities. Hauer states that through inclusion, students with severe disabilities have higher social interactions and spend more time participating in academic activities. Inclusion is very important and has positive outcomes for both students with severe disabilities and without. Prinsky discusses the 21st century learner and how important it is to bring in technology to the classroom. Our students are digital natives, and as educators, we must use technology to inform our practices. Student engagement is key for every classroom, and our 21st century learners can be positively impacted by incorporating digital practices into what students are learning. Through the knowledge gained from this course, I am able to use these theories and research to reflect upon my teaching practices and the learning environment I create. I will use what I learned through this course and apply that knowledge to everything I do. I will use what I learned from Freer and many more to make sure that my students have voice and know how to use it. Every learner should have an equitable education, and every learner's background, culture, and identity should be represented and respected throughout their academic and personal lives. As an educator, I must stay knowledgeable on current research and current events and help my students be able to speak up for change in their worlds.